Have you ever wished you could just point your camera at something and poof, instantly have a 3D model of it right inside Blender? Well, today we're gonna look at an add-on that basically makes that a reality. It's called MotionMesh. I mean, seriously, just think about that for a second. Imagine filming a cool location and then with just a few clicks, having that exact environment, camera move and all, ready to go in your 3D workspace. What would you even make with that kind of power? Well, this isn't science fiction anymore. It's the core promise of MotionMesh. So what is it? Well, MotionMesh is basically a complete all-in-one solution. It uses a technique called photogrammetry to look at your footage, figure out how your camera moved, and can even build a full 3D model of the scene. And the best part? You never ever have to leave Blender. Okay, so how does it pull off this magic trick? Well, it's not actually magic, but it is some seriously clever tech that VFX pros have been using for years. Let's kind of pull back the curtain and see how it all works. This is a great way to think about it. You know how when you walk through a room, your brain is just constantly automatically building a 3D map of its shape and where you are? MotionMesh does the exact same thing, but it uses your video frames to build that mental map digitally. Pretty cool, right? Now, the technical name for this is structure from motion, or just SFM. What it does is it automatically finds thousands of unique points in your video, like the corner of a picture frame or a weird crack in the pavement, and it tracks them from one frame to the next. This is a huge time saver because it means you don't have to go around putting little green sticker dots all over your scene. The software just figures it out. And this add-on is built on a really solid foundation. It can handle video files or a bunch of still images. It's powered by the Meshroom engine, which is proven rock-solid tech. And of course, it uses your GPU to make things go way faster. In the end, it gives you that camera motion and a 3D point cloud to use as your guide. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds super complicated. But really, the add-on guides you through this really clear logical workflow. Let's walk through the path from your raw video file to a finished visual effect. And here it is, 5 simple steps. You start by telling it where your video is. Then you give it some basic info about your camera. You choose how it's going to analyze the footage, you hit the go button, and then you just import the results. See? It's designed to be as straightforward as it can be. Now, within that workflow, there are a few key choices you'll have to make, but probably the most important one happens in step 3, picking your feature descriptor. This is basically the brain of the tracking engine, and your choice here is always going to be a trade-off between quality and speed. This chart breaks it down perfectly, so for those big, professional, high-stakes shots, you're going to want SIFT. It gives you the absolute best quality, but man, it takes a while. For just quick tests and previews, AKZ is your friend. It's super fast. But for almost everything else, DSP SIFT, that's the sweet spot. It's got a great balance of quality and speed, and it's probably going to be your go-to for most projects. And hey, here's a little pro tip for you, the frame sampling rate. If you've got a long video, you really don't need to analyze every single frame. Setting this value to 2, which just means it analyzes every other frame, is a fantastic place to start. It can literally cut your processing time in half, and a lot of the time, the results are just as good. The other big choice you're going to make is about what you want at the end. If you just need the camera motion so you can stick a 3D object into your scene, pick camera tracking only. It's fast and it gives you exactly what you need. But if you want a fully textured 3D model of the whole environment, then you'll want to select the full pipeline. It definitely takes longer, but the result is basically a complete digital copy of your scene. All right, now for the really exciting stuff. The latest version, 1.3, adds some incredible new power tools that just make everything better, from the initial track all the way to the final render. These are absolute game changers for getting realistic results and just working faster. First step, advanced shadow catchers. You know, the hardest part of making a 3D object look like it's actually in your scene is grounding it with a believable shadow. This used to be this whole complicated, time-consuming setup, but now it's basically a one-click solution. And it's super flexible. You get different types for different situations, including one that works perfectly with Blender's real-time Eevee renderer. You can tweak the size and the height, and it just works. This is how you really sell the shot and make your visual effects look totally convincing. Okay, next up. What if you want your 3D objects to do more than just sit there? What if you want them to actually interact with the environment you just scanned? Well, version 1.3 adds a powerful rigid body physics system that lets you do exactly that. So this means you can automatically make your new 3D mesh a solid object that other things can bounce off of or roll on or even crash into. you can control exactly how it behaves, its weight, its friction, and you can even apply these settings to tons of objects all at once. It's awesome. And finally, we've got a whole bunch of new tools that just make working with these 3D models faster and easier. You know, these are the little quality of life features that are going to save you so much time and so many headaches. So now when you import your mesh, it automatically finds and hooks up the right textures. You can smooth out any rough geometry with a simple slider. And maybe best of all, it keeps your Blender scene file nice and tidy by organizing everything into collections automatically. It's just brilliant. So when you put all of this together, the core tracking, the simple workflow, and these new power tools, what does it actually mean for you as an artist? Why does any of this really matter? This quote from the documentation really just says it all. The tool is powerful for sure, but its real potential gets unlocked when you, the artist, understand the basics. Good footage and smart settings are your foundation. MotionMesh is just the amazing house you get to build on top of it. And if we break down its unique advantage, it kind of looks like this. The biggest piece of the pie is that everything happens right inside Blender. No more jumping between a bunch of different programs. Then you add in the pro-level tech, tons of flexibility, and the fact that it's a complete solution, and you end up with something really special. And what all this really means, what it illustrates so perfectly, is that tools like this are fundamentally changing how we create. You're no longer limited to building worlds from scratch. The world all around you just became your personal asset library, your starting point, your canvas. So, I'll leave you with this thought. That barrier between the real world and the digital world is getting lower every single day. So now that you can capture pretty much any environment and bring it right into Blender, what are you going to create first? I can't wait to see what you come up with. Thanks for tuning in.